Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff and boyfriend Jalen Sera enjoy a canoe date and unexpected gator encounter in Florida. After a shock early exit from Wimbledon, Coco Gauff enjoyed a much-needed break with her boyfriend Jalen Sera. The couple gave fans a rare peek into their downtime, sharing snippets from a peaceful canoe ride at sunset, complete with an unexpected encounter with the Florida alligator. Gauff enjoys serene escape ahead of busy hard-court season. Gauff is currently in the middle of her transition from the grass courts of Wimbledon to the North American hard-court swing. After a disappointing first-round exit at SW19 after losing to Ukraine's Diana Yastremska, Gauff is using the brief window between tournaments to relax, reset, and spend quality time with her loved ones before gearing up for a packed summer schedule that includes WTA 1000 events in Montreal and Cincinnati. As part of her downtime, Gauff headed outdoors to enjoy a peaceful evening paddling with Sera. The couple's quiet adventure took a playful turn when Gauff unexpectedly spotted a gator nearby. Far from panicking, she chose to document the moment with her sense of humor. Sharing a snapshot to her Instagram stories, she posted a photo of the surrounding water and captioned it, "Out here with the gators." In another slide, Gauff shared a beautiful image of the Florida sunset glowing over the lake, as well as a shot of herself canoeing and then diving into the lake. Sera, too, gave fans a glimpse of their adventure, uploading a photo of his own on his Instagram stories, featuring him navigating the waters with a paddle in hand. Gauff wins ESPY award for second year in a row. Gauff earned her second consecutive ESPY for Best Tennis Player, highlighting a dominant year that included her second Grand Slam title. The 33rd ESPY Awards, held on July 16, 2025, at LA's Dolby Theater, featured stars like Simone Biles and Suni Lee. Hosted by Shane Gillis, the night saw Gauff emerge as a top honoree in tennis. Since winning the award in 2024, Gauff has captured the China Open, the WTA Finals in Riyadh, and lifted the 2025 French Open trophy. She also reached the Australian Open quarterfinals and was a finalist in Madrid and Rome. Though she exited Wimbledon early, her season has been exceptional. On X, she reacted, "Woke up to me winning another ESPY. Aw, thank you. The Florida sun shimmered on the water like scattered diamonds as the canoe drifted quietly down the serene backwaters of the Loxahatchee River. Palms stretched lazily toward the sky. Cypresses dipped their roots into the tea-colored water, and the only sounds were the rustling of the wind, the occasional cry of a heron, and the rhythmic splash of paddles cutting through the current. At the heart of this perfect Florida postcard were two figures, Coco Gauff, tennis superstar and reigning queen of American youth and talent, and her boyfriend, Jalen Sera, a charming, low-key creative known for his love of wildlife photography and spontaneous adventures. This was no high-profile red carpet appearance, no ESPY stage, no flashing cameras. It was a day off, a rare slice of quiet for Coco, who had just wrapped up a hectic European clay court season. With her tennis bag stashed away and rackets put to rest, she had traded sweatbands and sneakers for a straw hat and a simple sundress. Jalen, in cargo shorts and a vintage Raptors tee, was in charge of steering their canoe, not through the paparazzi jungle but down the real, breathing wilderness of South Florida. The date had been Jalen's idea. "Let's get off the grid," he'd said with a grin. "No phones, no scores, just water, trees, and us." Coco had smiled. "Only if we can bring snacks." A date meant for peace. They launched the canoe early in the morning, just as the mist was lifting off the water. Coco had packed granola bars, sliced mango, and bottles of coconut water. Jalen brought his analog camera, the kind that needed film and patience. They laughed easily, their conversation drifting like the boat itself. Coco talked about her dream of launching a tennis foundation for girls in underserved areas. Jalen mused about capturing a perfect Osprey dive shot. "This is better than any dinner date," Coco said, her fingers trailing in the water. "You win points for creativity." "I told you," Jalen said, leaning in to kiss her forehead. "Florida isn't just Miami and beach parties. This is the real magic." They paddled past turtles, sunning on logs, and raccoons peeking out from the brush. They paused under an old oak draped in Spanish moss, where the air smelled like earth and rain. For hours, time slowed. Their world reduced to water and whispers, sun and smiles. The Gator twist. It happened mid-afternoon. They had stopped in a shaded cove to eat lunch, their canoe gently anchored against the roots of a cypress. Coco was dangling her feet over the edge when Jalen, peering through his camera lens, suddenly tensed. "Coco," he said quietly, lowering the camera. "Don't move." She blinked. "What?" "To your right. About 10 feet out." Coco turned her head slowly. Floating just beyond the reeds was a young alligator, maybe 5 feet long, with curious eyes and a stillness that sent a ripple of goosebumps up her arms. It wasn't massive, but in the moment, it may as well have been a dinosaur. Coco froze. How close is too close?" "He's just observing," Jalen whispered, already raising his camera. They usually keep their distance. "Don't splash or panic." She gave him a look. This wasn't on the itinerary, Jalen. But even in the tension, there was laughter. The absurdity of it, 2 teens on a canoe date, interrupted by Florida's wild mascot, felt like something out of a sitcom. The Gator hovered for a minute, drifting a little closer. Jalen managed a few snapshots, then gently tapped the side of the canoe with his paddle. The vibration sent the Gator slowly gliding away into the shadowy banks. Coco exhaled. "Okay, that was wild." Jalen grinned. "Admit it, this just made our day 10 times cooler." She chuckled nervously. "Let's just say I'll have a great story for the next press conference." The bond beyond the spotlight. What made the moment stick wasn't just the Gator. It was the way Coco and Jalen navigated it. Calm, playful, trusting. Their chemistry was effortless, the kind built on shared silence as much as shared jokes. For Coco, whose life had been a whirlwind of media, sponsors, and stadium roars since she was 15, these grounded moments mattered. Jalen wasn't a tennis player, wasn't from her world of rackets and rankings, and maybe that was the magic. He didn't see her as a global icon. He saw her as the girl who liked lemon ice cream, got overly competitive during Monopoly, and danced like nobody was watching. And she, in turn, adored how he could talk for hours about birds, how he could find beauty in fog and stillness, how he made her feel like more than just Coco Gauff, American tennis star. Canoe confessions and river realizations. As the sun dipped lower, casting golden halos over the water, Coco and Jalen found themselves in a stretch of river framed by towering pines. "I think I needed this more than I realized," Coco said, resting her head on his shoulder. "Not just the break, but the stillness." Jalen nodded. "Nature reminds you how to breathe, right?" "And also," she smirked, "that I'm not at the top of the food chain everywhere." They both laughed. He reached into the bag and pulled out a tiny notebook. "I've been writing down things I want to remember this summer." "Like what?" "Like this moment," he said, scribbling a line. "Gator, mango, Coco's nervous giggle. All of it." Coco smiled, eyes soft. "Can I write something?" He handed her the notebook. She paused, thinking, then wrote. "When the river gave us silence, and the Gator gave us a story, I realized how much I love this life, and this boy paddling beside me." Love in the time of headlines. Back on land, as dusk fell and the canoe was hauled onto a wooden dock, they shared one last moment before heading back to reality. Jalen leaned in, brushing a kiss on Coco's cheek. "You were brave today." "I was terrified." "Exactly. But you stayed with me." She laughed. "You owe me dinner." "Deal. And next time, we'll kayak with dolphins." Coco raised a brow. "Promise there'll be no gators?" "No promises in Florida." They walked hand in hand, the quiet woods behind them, the headlights of their parked Jeep ahead. No bodyguards, no reporters, no fans screaming their names, just 2 young souls who had braved a river, a gator, and the kind of moment that would etch itself into memory forever. The world keeps watching. In the days that followed, a single photo, posted by Jalen on his photography page, sparked intrigue. Coco in the canoe, looking out toward the horizon, a subtle smile on her lips. No caption, just the date. Fans noticed. The media speculated. But for once, the story wasn't about grand slams or celebrity sightings. It was about love in the wild, about connection without Wi-Fi, about the girl who conquered Wimbledon and the boy who captured her in the middle of a Gator encounter. And maybe, just maybe, it was about how sometimes the biggest adventure isn't winning the next title, but simply paddling through life with the one who brings you peace.